Oh!
That was that one. Okay, good.
Darn!
Hi, everybody.
We're live. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Can you see us? Can you hear us?
I sure hope so.
Is this going to make noise? Okay, it's not. This is just a replay here.
That's
so
where
you
our
can see
chat
the
is. We haven't set up our monitors in here yet. We
I
got to get all that worked out.
we're
Figure out what we're going to do.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
We are the Brothers Murphy. It's time to talk about Gen Con, which we just got back from
very
a day or so ago.
Yeah. We got back Sunday during the day, and it's Tuesday now. We were going to do this yesterday, and then we were kind of like, let's take a bit. We did some work yesterday, but let's take a bit of a day to rest a little bit at least before we jump right back into work.
You know,
we're
allowed.
Yeah, just a teeny bit. And so, so we're back. We had a really, really good Gen Con. We are doing this live, but we will kind of do, again, kind of like a little Q&A, talk about stuff afterwards, but kind of the haul part, we're going to keep more like a normal video. But thank you, everyone who is here live in the chat. Make sure to check out our channel a lot, because we're going to start live streaming much more often now that it's August. We need to kind of get through Gen Con, get through a lot of the summer before we kind of could.
Exactly. So it is a part of our plan to do regularly, scheduled streams.
Weekly game streams, playthroughs, and then other just random, like I did an unboxing stream like last week.
Yeah.
And
we love hanging out and chat with you and
great.
communicating in real time and stuff, and we hope it's fun to watch after the fact. Hello to everyone in chat. We got Sissy Everdell, LS, Coral, May, KM, Telenko, Linnea out here we hung out with at Gen Con, Quicksand, and more. Hello to everybody. So we did acquire games, as one does.
Yes.
It's like, you can't not.
Yeah, some of them, a decent amount of them we bought, some of them were given to us. We will mention when we talk about which ones they were. And I will say, because we went to Gen Con, we did not work at Gen Con. We had like 2 meetings. Both of which were with friends, to be completely honest. And that was it. We didn't want to work. We don't really want to work at cons anymore. So we actually got to play games at Gen Con. Like every night we were playing games.
More than ever before.
And we actually played, for us especially, a decent amount of the new games. It wasn't a ton, but we played through like, how many of them? We'll have to count kind of as we're going.
Probably.
No, I don't know if it was quite that much, but it was a decent amount.
Well, I'd say half of them we played at some point or other.
Yes. And so really, really excited about it. So let's go ahead and start. There's also going to be absolutely no order to this at all.
It's just what
we're just going to be.
I'd say in general we'll go small to big, because smaller stuff is stacked on top of bigger things.
That's how it goes.
And that's about as far as we got.
It'd be weird to put Pompero on top of Gloomholden. Not Gloomholden.
Buttons and Bugs.
Yeah. I'll start.
Yeah.
Things and Rings we got.
Things and Rings.
We did play this, not this version, because this one's still in shrink, but we actually did get to play this.
Yes.
We played this after we took some of our Kickstarter backers out to dinner.
Yep.
And it was really, really fun. This is a game where you are you're putting things in rings. The rings are kind of make a big Venn diagram, and every part of that Venn diagram has a rule to it.
Yep.
And as you're putting in cards, there's one person who knows the rules, and they're basically gonna be like, nope, that card doesn't go there. It goes over here. And you basically have to try and deduce what
you have to try to figure out like what the rules are, because you're going to have a hand of cards and you're trying to get rid of your hand of cards first. So if you know the rules, you're going to be able to play cards accurately, and if you play a card into the right spot, you get to go again. You get to keep going until you make a mistake, and then you draw one card to replace your mistake.
Yeah, so you're not trying to like verbally say, the rule is this. You're basically trying to put stuff down to get rid of your cards, but you have to do that by knowing the rules. It was very fun.
It was really, really fun. If you're wrong, the knower moves the card to the area it should be. So you gain information no matter what. And it's this fun thing, like, it's a really fun game in that it's competitive, and I think you can play cooperative as well. But like, it's just fun to try to figure out the rules of it and stuff. It was a really casual, really solid, kind of casual party filler game that we'd heard a lot about from people. Jeff and Jamie played this and liked it in one of their review of
I love the kind of Dr. Seuss look to it.
Yeah, really cool art. So that was like one of the things we bought within the first minutes of the first day, because I knew like, oh, this is going to be one that we're going to definitely enjoy.
Yeah. Grab something, Mikey.
Speaking of buttons and bugs, we got...
It's so tiny.
It's like the anti-Gloomhaven.
I knew it was really small. That's so small.
Teeny tiny Gloomhaven buttons and bugs.
So
it is very small.
Oh, sorry. We bought Things and Rings. We also bought this.
Yeah. So there you go. This is a solo micro Gloomhaven where you have like these little scenarios that are like on a card. A card has your little map, and you have these tiny minis and stuff, and you're moving around doing Gloomhaven stuff. And this came out of like a sort of like a COVID project. Someone had made. They call it Gloomholden, because you could hold it in your hands and play it, and then Cephalofair dug it and they like made it official. So we knew we wanted to pick this one up. It's for solo only. It's like 20 minutes. I was like, this is awesome. I just love the idea of this so much, and so I'm super happy we have that. So haven't played it yet, but
sure,
there's that. Gloomhaven buttons and bugs.
I think it said Samara gave you this, right? I was not there when Mike got this, but someone gave us to us.
So this
from
is
Good Games Publishing, right?
Yes. So this is an Australian duo who have made this game and stuff, and it's just like kind of delivering to people. And they came up and wanted to. It was very sweet. They wanted to make sure that we got a copy of it because they're fans of ours and everything. Yeah, and Samara, one of the designers themselves, handed this over. So basically, it's a one versus all game where there's like a witch hunter and then a group of people trying to form a coven of witches and stuff. You're doing it through like card play and stuff. So it's got really cool art and everything. Excited to learn more. It's for 4 to 6 players, so it's going to be a while until we probably get to try it.
For us, but hey.
But yeah, I thought it was super sweet. I really dug it. You know, they're kind of indie designers getting picked up, and that's always really cool. So Curses and Covens.
Yeah.
How good. How good.
We got a buttload of games from Hachette. We were expecting like 1 or 2, and they gave us like a whole, like 2 bags full.
Yeah.
So we have Katamino Tower. I don't know anything about this game, but it looks like you're trying to like polyomino 3D polyomino stuff. You're trying to like stack in. It's by Gigamike, who make really good games generally, and so. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. It's like 1 to 2 players, 6+, so I think it's good for like kids and stuff. It's kind of like a spatial
slot stuff in. Yeah, very spatial and everything, which kind of
looks
seems
cool.
neat.
Logan would probably really enjoy just playing with
There's
it.
44,138 solutions.
Wow.
So
we're gonna find at least 6.
Getting through those real quick.
Yeah. So thanks Hachette for that one.
Shouts out to Hachette. We got more from them. One thing that we bought was.
Park Life.
We're looking for small stuff.
It's so we wanted small stuff. Look how small this is.
This is Park Life People Edition. There are various versions. There's Park Life Hedgehogs, and I think just Park Life the original. This is a trick-taking game. And I know about this simply because Jeff mentioned it. Jeff from Frosted Meeple mentioned it on their anticipated list. And they kind of got Sashi and Sashi style art. It's not Sashi and Sashi.
Yeah, but it's kind of similar.
From Charming Games Collective. But I love the style. It's this cozy little trick-taking game. So trick-taking with a twist. There's like weather cards, and if you're like... There's like ice cream cards, and if you don't want those things to go together because you're not going to eat ice cream on a rainy day. And there's like various things, but it's like kind of like a cozy trick-taking game. They can even solo, so I'm curious about that.
Very curious about
this
that.
This is like the pocket edition, the little tiny one, and they have one on Kickstarter that has like some deluxe bits that hasn't delivered yet.
And they go inside a whale.
Yeah. One of the other games goes inside a whale, as Jeff and Jamie have showed off as well. So yeah, I love their little style and everything. But it's Park Life People Edition. I mean, pocket size, how good? Throw us anywhere trick-taking.
Indeed.
Let's go.
One thing we actually did play this in the airport on the way home was Cascadito. We bought this there are a couple, essentially just game stores that have a booth. And so we went through one of them, and Mike grabbed Cascadito. We did not grab Cascadero. We could have. We kind of wanted to see this one because this one was cheaper and smaller.
Basically.
And so that was why. But this is like a roll and write that we did play at the airport. And there's kind of like 4 different pages for it that you can do, but essentially you're rolling out these dice, drafting these, and you can mark off a spot next to the town or whatever it is
that
of
matches
that
the
color
die you drafted.
And you're trying to like connect the towns. You're trying to. It's a very, at least the first scenario is very, very basic.
Yeah.
I am glad that there's more of them because if it was just that, I'd be like, cool, this is a very fine roll and write. But I'm very curious to see them more. But it's got tool art. It's very pretty. I do like small roll and writes. I'm excited to try the rest of them because the first one was fine, but it was I think meant to be very basic.
Yeah, you can see just from the sheets, the second, third, and fourth, that there's more
a lot more
iconography and things. There's clearly a lot more that comes at you.
Lot.
This is one that, I was really interested in Cascadero, but I feel like it's a game that will probably be better at like 3 players or more, and it's like $50.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll pay $20 for this and find out, and I'm happy you did because it's cool, and it does make me more interested to try Cascadero, maybe at like a con where you can play it at a better player count. So it's probably one we don't need to own.
This for a close-up of Park Life. This is very small on this one over here. If you see us look over here, it's because our monitor's over there.
I'm looking at me right now. That's me right now.
If you see also. So this, this is it. It's very small, but it's very cute.
It's inspired by Sashi and Sashi style art. I think it's focusing on your hand when you do that.
Can I go here? Can I go here?
I think it's finding people.
There we go. We'll put it right against my chest there. Also, BGCon, go there. It's great.
Go there.
But this is what it looks like. So it is very small in that picture.
Yeah.
So, boom. There's Mikey.
Boom.
All right.
Well, while I do that, one thing we got given was from Rose Gauntlet is Turnip.
Oh yeah, we played this too. It was fun.
Turnip is a little bluffing game where you are animals who I guess sort of worship
You're like rabbits
turnips.
who like worship turnips.
Yeah, and the art is really great. It's like kind of all famous Renaissance, you know, like the whatever when they're reaching out and touching and stuff. But it's all
Yeah,
like
there's one like that, but it's
all
with a turnip
based.
it's great. It's great.
So it's a bluffing game where you are sort of kind of like BS, where you are putting down one or two cards and saying what the value of
This is what this is.
of turnips is. Like, this is a 5.
Yeah, this is a 5.
And you want to have the highest value of these cards that you've played when someone, whether it's you or someone else, calls for a harvest.
Yes.
Because if you do, you basically collect everyone's cards and they're worth a point apiece. There's a kind of a bluffing element and a sort of calling people out element as well, because if I say, oh, this is a 4, someone can basically call Turnip, and basically turn that card up, flip it up and show me, and if I'm correct and you were lying, I get a turnip token, which is worth 2 points.
Oh yeah, sorry, 2 points.
And if you were found out to be telling the truth, you get a turnip token worth 2 points.
So you don't want to just do it willy-nilly, because if they're right, you give them 2 points, essentially.
Yeah. So you're trying to like time things out. If you think you have the winning hand, essentially, then call harvest and stuff. You also stash one card at the start of the game that's going to be worth, its value. Yeah. And there's more low cards than high cards. Everyone has the same deck of cards. There's a little bit of card counting as you start to see stuff come up. I really enjoyed it for like a quick little, it's 3 to 5, 15-minute filler bluffing game. Really fun, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm super glad it doesn't need to be anything more than that, but the art styles of it is awesome.
It's really fun. It's super cute.
Really, really cute. And if you like kind of like a bluffing BS style game, that one is cool. So shouts out to Rose Gauntlet, Ken, the designer, and this over a copy.
I think you played this, right? You got Line It.
Yes.
You played this while I was learning in the footsteps of Marie Curie, which we'll talk about in a moment. But you got to play this little game.
Yeah, so I played it with Jeff and Jamie on Board Game Arena. Hachette gave us a copy of this game. And so I was like, I'm pretty sure I know it. And then Jamie came and sat down. And I was like, okay, well, between us, we can play this. We played it with our buddy Jared. And this is an awesome game. Like, again, little card games are always enjoyable. And that's something that I really appreciate is that there's just, even if it's just sort of like a mid-level card game, and I'm not saying that this is that or whatever, it's that they are enjoyable. Yeah, so I'm just always happy they exist. So in this one, you are basically drafting a card from a market every round. And the numbers are all unique 1 to 100. And you are going to take a card, either put it in your hand or put it into your line. And then if you have a hand and card, you can also play one card from your hand to your line. The thing with the line is, once you establish one card, say it's a 47, the next card you play, if it's higher or lower, will determine whether you are making a line that is ascending or descending. And you cannot change route
kind of photograph style?
Kind of, yeah. So if I play like a 47, I play now a 32, I'm going down and I have to keep playing lower cards. And you are basically trying to build as long of a line as possible before you decide to end your line, which you can always kind of do, in your turn.
Kind of like trekking through history.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. It's kind of borrowing from some stuff. And basically, the longer the line, the better, because you're going to, when you go ahead and close your line, you're going to ditch 3 cards from the line, collect the rest as 1 point per card. And there's also these bet cards where you can put one down that maybe has a +3. And that's saying that I bet I can put 3 more cards after that bet card in my line successfully. Exactly. And if I do that, in addition to collecting any cards, I collect a token that's +3 or whatever. But if I fail and can't get it done, it flips over to a minus.
Okay.
The other thing there is that there's different colors of cards, and if ever you get 3 colors in your line anywhere of the same, 3 cards of the same color, any cards that aren't being selected from the market are discarded to these little jackpot things of the 4 colors. So if I play 3 greens, any cards that have accumulated in the green jackpot, I instantly grab and put into my victory pile. That's really it. It's a fun little, casual card game.
Look, it opens like that.
Yeah, it's kind of got a cool
Yeah, that's fun. Look at that.
way of opening.
See that? Yeah, les butts. People have noticed les butts. It's because the Paris Olympics are on. So
yeah, because we're
les
in solidarity
butts.
with Paris.
That's why.
Right?
That's why it's les butts instead of just butts
All
per
right.
usual.
Let's go. Let's go.
Boom, line it. Grab something, Mikey.
Boom. Next up, we're gonna get rolling one.
Yes. Someone
This
handed
was,
this basically as we were leaving.
We were literally walking out of the con on Sunday to go to the airport.
It was Randy who was the designer, yeah.
Yeah, so Randy caught up with us and handed over their game. I think they were there pitching some other stuff as well. This is called Rollin' One. Your animals who are golfing. And it's a game where you make a little course. Everyone will have a chance to design a course with these different tiles. You'll just, put them together however you want with a little tee box on one end and a green on the other. And you have a little golf ball pawn, and you are selecting dice to roll in order to take shots and stuff. And different dice are all different. There's like, D4, a D6, a D20.
Yeah, D4 is your putter. Your like D8 is your chipping
wedge,
wedge,
or whatever it is. And they all have kind of different
stuff.
things they do and different strengths and weaknesses. So your wood, your driver is the D20, has mostly these triangle symbols. And that's important because when you roll, if you hit a number, say a 2, to keep on moving forward, you need to roll a higher and higher number, or one of those symbols will also be considered a successful roll.
Yeah, because otherwise your ball lands. This is basically it going through the air. As long as you can keep rolling higher and higher and higher, it's staying in the air.
Shot.
The second you don't, boom, that's when it lands.
Yeah, and you might land in the rough or the water and take a penalty. Or the fairway, you get to slide further because it's the nice smooth grass and stuff. And then once you've finished your first shot, the next time it comes around to you, you can kind of reposition which direction you're aiming.
Choose a new club.
And then they'll have different things that'll help you turn and do different stuff or move slower. And you're just trying to get onto that green, successfully land on the green and stuff. This was cute.
This was a cute little game. We played at the airport. Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, it was a cute one and stuff. I like that there was player powers that give you a little bit of asymmetry. There's these caddy cards which give you some mitigation, so you might be able to re-roll something or stop your ball before you run into a penalty. So that was nice.
It was cute.
And I just like that the different dice have different strengths and stuff. I thought that was a cool thing for ultimately dice chucking and seeing how it goes. You don't have a ton of control in the game, but I like the style and everything, and the fact that you get to build the courses.
I thought it was a cute little golf game. So you have a golf lover? Like, it's a good little game.
Shouts out to Randy for handing it over. We really appreciate it.
It was like on our way out. Okay. Again, from Hachette, no idea about this game. This is Garden Getaway. Not sure. I have no idea what it is.
So I asked for this one from Hachette because it's for 4 to 7-year-olds.
Yeah,
it's specifically for kids, and Logan, who is only half that age, will be 4 at some point, and it's cute. So.
I know, there's a hedgehog like bouncing off of something on the back. That's all that really matters.
I think you're, let's see, I'm trying to think if I remember. Really. Yeah, you're trying to like basically steal veggies and stuff before the gardener gets you. It's like a little 10-minute game. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but it's like I love the art style. I'm obviously trying to start to think ahead and start to accumulate games for kids. Because I think Logan would dig it. I mean, I love the style, so I'm excited to try this one with her again in a couple of years. But shouts out to Shed for handing it over now instead of making me wait until she's 4. That was very nice of them. Next we have Speed Colors. This is from Friendly Skeleton. Our good friend Benita handed this over after showing us, and you actually got a chance to play this.
I did play. You guys were playing something.
We were playing.
I gotta play this. Me, Jeff, and Aaron were playing it. I'm not. I can't remember what you guys were doing, but
we were playing something right next to you.
We were all at the same table, but this is a great end of night at a convention kind of game. This is basically, it's kind of like a kid's game where you're gonna have a dry erase card, and that card is gonna have a teddy bear, a plant, or something on it, and there's going to be 6 sections on it, and there's 6 different dry erase markers, and on the other side, it's going to show how it should be colored. So like this part should be purple, this part should be yellow, this part should be green. So basically, everyone will flip over their card, try to memorize it, flip it back, and then you go, and you basically are trying to be the first one to cover
markers from the middle of the
table. But there's only one of each kind of color marker, so you're kind of like trying to snatch them from each other and stuff. It's just really, really silly. It's definitely more of a kid's game, but adults can have a lot of fun, especially if you're kind of loopy at the end of a convention. And then once someone finishes, you say stop. If you have a pen in hand, you can kind of finish what you were coloring in, and then you flip it over and see how well you did. If you got the correct color in the correct place, it's 2 points. If you colored in a spot, but it was the incorrect color, you still get 1 point, and then blank spots are nothing, of course. And so then you score it like that. You're basically you do a couple different rounds, trying to get a certain amount of points. It was very silly and very fun, and we had a good time.
It looked fun. You guys were hooting and hollering.
It was fun. It was, because it's silly. You're just
snatching.
Yeah, you're just trying to grab stuff from each other. It's great.
It's pretty good. Games by Mondo. What's up, Mondo? So nice to see you for a second, man. Logan's time flies. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's
Tell me about it.
It's wild.
We were playing Parade. That's right. We were playing Parade.
That's what you were playing. That's right.
That was super fun. And what's up, Chris? The old witty pan. You ran into it.
I got to see a witty pan.
I'm sorry we didn't run into you. Well, I should say that I didn't run into you.
Picked up Middle Ages. This is again from Hachette. Very, very excited. This is kind of, I'm sure someone's going to ask, what was the game of the con? I don't really know. This was definitely one of them, though. Apparently, it's very, very fun. It's really, really pretty. I don't know anything about it, except for the fact that people are very, very into it.
Tiling stuff.
I want it.
Tyler from Cabre really likes this game. So, again, we were picking it from Hachette anyway because I really like the look a lot. And I was like, that's awesome. And then as we were picking it up from Tyler, Tyler was just like, yo, this game is dope. And I was
Yeah.
like, really? Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Because
so-
you never know going into Gen Con. Like,
Yeah, you
maybe
know.
there's some games you've played before and you pick up with some knowledge. But
apparently it's very, very
there's
good.
a lot of,
It seems like this is going to be one of the more popular ones coming out of the con. And so, yeah, don't really know much about it, but shouts out to Hachette. And
I want to play you. We have a fiefdom.
You fiefdom?
One that we picked up because we knew we liked it.
Love it.
Shout out to Paula, brought this on your birthday.
It was my birthday, yes.
Not this past, in December.
It was my birthday yesterday. Yeah, thank you for no one
Every
wish you happy
day can
birthday.
be your birthday if you want it
exactly.
to be. Paula showed...
Hey, Paula. Hey, Paula.
Yeah, hey, Paula. Every tile middle age is unique art. Oh, that's even better. So Paula had played this and was just like, you're going to love this game, and showed it to us.
Combo wombos.
It's a combo wombo-tastic, roll and write, flip and fill. About you making a band and going on tour and doing press and stuff like that and trying to complete these goals.
Yeah.
And we played it and really enjoyed it when we played it then. I've subsequently played it a billion times on Board Game Arena because it's so great. And so you had the eagle eyes, and we passed by Inside Up Games, who makes like Earth and stuff. And we saw this, we're like, oh, we should grab this because like we know we like this.
Yes.
and
I
we got
want
a
it
chance to
physically.
play it at 6-player. It's so good.
Yeah, we played it at 6-player. It's great.
Played a terrible game.
I had a really good game. Lenabi by 1 point.
I had
I'm
the unique experience of playing a 6-player game and being the only person in 6 to not score 100 points.
Yeah, Mike did not. All the plays on BGA did not help Mike out in this one at all.
Sure did.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a whole couple.
I played against
bunch of
Benita
them
recently
here.
and also got rolled by her. So I'm in a funk in my band making.
It's finally happened. We got Final Girl. I'm very excited. Shouts out to Van Ryder and Jamie. We got some Final Girl.
Yes.
I've always wanted to play Final Girl. It's a solo game. We also watched Jamie die horrifically in a live show playing Final Girl.
Well, but then we brought her back to life.
We did
The
bring her
audience
back to
voted
life.
to bring her back to life, and then she succeeded. And that I feel like is more in line.
Because Jamie's her Final Girl promo is premiering at Gen Con, so it's very, very cool. Yeah, it's literally right there. We got the promo as
Jamie
well.
right there. I should take her out of my phone.
But we've always wanted to play Final Girl, and so Van Ryder hooked us up with kind of a core box set, which has the what is it, Happy Camp Life or what it's called?
Yeah, right here.
The Happy Trails Horror. That's what it is. The Happy something. And then we got the kind of Christmassy one, and then because Mike is a massive fan of The Thing, we also were able to get the one that's kind of, again, none of these things are based off these things. They're just inspired by them.
Yeah,
but
you can
I've
make
always
guesses.
wanted to play Final Girl.
Yeah, so once you have the
badly.
core box, you can basically get these.
Yeah.
You need the materials from the core box, and then these have the subsequent, stuff. And everything's interchangeable, so you can play like any Final Girl with any scenario and any location. All sorts of crazy ways to mix it up. So big shouts out to Van Ryder.
Yeah, so we'll probably do either a solo playthrough of it or maybe a solo stream it or something like that. I want to show it off because I've always wanted to play Final Girl.
And Peter, we got Jamie's character.
It's in my phone case.
Yeah, she's in my phone case.
For
I carry her
reason.
around wherever I go. You never know if you're going to find yourself with a villain.
That's
you need
true.
a Final Girl.
That's
true. But that's the only promo we have.
Yeah, we actually don't have Paula's promo, Paula. And so, but nonetheless, Final Girl, very, very excited. I'm super excited with the Christmas one. I love this one.
And Paula says, since we like the thing, we'll like the organism, which is inspired
exactly.
by. But it's really scary. The art's really scary.
It's creepy. It's
I don't know
max
if I am.
creepage.
I'm too scared.
Absolute max
scared
creepage.
to play.
So super hyped about Final Girl. I have always wanted to play it so bad. One of my top want to play games. Boom, Slings of Arrows.
Boom, we went by Restoration and picked up some games of theirs from them. They handed over. Give me your games.
Give me your games. They also sponsored the channel. Shout out to Sponsor Daddies.
As Sponsor Daddy, we are privileged to get their games.
Yes.
And so they got us caught up, basically. We'll show you the other ones.
Realistically, yeah.
But the thing I wanted the most was the new Unmatched Slings and Arrows, because if you don't know, I'm an actor. Not saying I'm a good one, but I am one. Specifically, like where I kind of leveled up in my aspirations for acting and stuff was when I started to do the Sacramento Shakespeare Festival in the summers prior to moving to Los Angeles. So when they came out with a Shakespeare set where you're playing as Shakespeare and then 3 of Shakespeare's characters, I was like, yo, this is the coolest thing ever. Have you looked at the art, bro?
Not really.
It's so good.
It's so good. But this is one of the fan-made sets.
So cool. This is one of the ones that won the design competition. The other one was the Houdini versus
Which makes it
Genie.
double cool.
Double cool. So I think in the if I remember correct, in the design contest, Shakespeare was the character, and then I think maybe they developed the other ones for this set. So the Shakespeare character is one of the ones
cool set,
that won. Oh my gosh.
What a cool set. I want to play it so bad. We'll probably cover this because we usually cover Unmatched when it comes out.
We'll do like a double episode.
We'll probably do a double episode, yeah.
Yeah, but here you have Shakespeare, then you have the Wayward Sisters, the kind of weird sisters from Mac Bizzle. You got Hamlet and Titania. Hamlet comes with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Oberon is mad thirsty in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Every art of Oberon, he is just thirst trapping to the max.
He lives to serve his queen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Heck yeah. And Titania and Oberon, it's so cool. I'm so excited. I just think it's like
such a cool idea.
I can't wait to get Shakespeare up here against Mothman. Like, come on now. They announced the Ninja Turtles set. Come on. So excited. So shouts out. We always love getting new Unmatched.
Do you have Unabus over there?
I don't. Oh, maybe I do.
Is it down there?
No, it's not.
Where is it? Oh, it's all the way down here. Hold on. Let's go to the bottom. So we'll talk about these things together. We were able to pick up and got gifted a copy. The Honey Buzz Fall Flavors, right? Mm-hmm. Fall Flavors from Elf Creek Games. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I'm just so excited because I am really excited about this. This is the expansion, kind of the autumn expansion for Honey Buzz. We like Honey Buzz a lot, and we've heard this expansion is really, really good. Because I think Honey Buzz, at least for me personally, was getting a little samey. Yep. And so I'm really, really excited. We also got the upgraded player pieces as well.
But the fall colors, you know.
Yes, so I got it, you know.
Which we're heading into at some point.
We're a week into August. I'm freaking out.
I mean, we're really in the middle of summer now. We're in the middle.
We're at the end of summer now. It's July's the middle of summer.
But not weather-wise.
That's fair, yeah.
We're in the dog days.
Kids are going back to school. It's freaking me out. But nonetheless, the Honey Buzz Fall Flavors expansion, I'm really, really excited. I don't quite remember exactly what it adds, but I've been hearing it's really, really good. And I really like Honey Buzz a lot. I love the concept. And I like the base game a lot. And so, Fall Flavors.
Yeah, I'm excited. I remember when they ran this Kickstarter for this expansion, I was looking into the different modules, and they all seemed really cool. Yeah. So I'm excited to kind of pull those back in and get some more Honey Buzz in our life. Because, we sort of are like, okay, it's not like anything bad, but we played it enough. But I really like what you're doing, so it's nice to have like a little infusion of fresh blood, as it were. Fresh honey. Fresh honey.
What you got over there, Mikey?
I got Nekojima.
Oh, we played that.
Also from Hachette. Played this for the first time at BGG Spring with Jeff and Jamie and stuff. And we really like it. It's a dexterity game where you're putting these like poles with wires, I guess power lines, up on this little central board, and you're trying to stack the lines on top of each other, make sure the wires don't touch and cause electrocutions.
Like you can see
you make this cool tower. And it's just a pure dexterity game. It's very Rhino Hero.
It's got some Rhino Hero vibes
with some it's more difficult.
It's like kind of junk art in Rhino Hero. You're stacking because it's harder things to stack.
Yeah,
because it's just big poles.
And you're gonna roll some dice, which are gonna tell you like there's the 4 quadrants of the city where you're putting these. You might have to put it in blue and purple. So the 2 bases of your poles have to go into those sections. Yeah. Then you'll pull a cube, which tells you which color of wire. Because there's white, pink, and blue that have different lengths of wires and stuff. And then you can choose any one of those that fits that category and place it. It's super fun.
It's fun.
It's just
a great stacking game.
Again, pure filler stacking game, but I enjoy that it's a little more challenging, a little more to think about than like a Rhino Hero. So.
Yeah, and it's just a fun stacking game. That's the end. And it looks, the box art is very pretty. The game itself is just like dowels and colors, but it's got a cool lot
of presence.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Yeah, I like the game a lot. What I got down here? Oh, we got shouts out to Capstone Games. Hey. Give us a copy of Tang City. We were hanging out with them, chatting with them. Yeah. We played Tang City at BGG Spring with Jamie, I think Charlie maybe.
I think so, yeah.
Really, really fun game where you're just building out a little city with tangrams, which are a specific thing, right?
Kind of like a specific kind of polyomino thing where they are mixes of squares and then half squares, triangles, and they make these unique, strange shapes.
Yeah, and so you're basically trying to have a balance between like park, the kind of green stuff, and like red stuff, which are like houses and parks, basically. Yep. It's really, really fun. I liked it a lot, and it's kind of is going to fit into that like casual, not super heavy. You play kind of at the end of an evening or something like that, the kind of Cascadia, like family weight kind of thing. It's really fun, and so we wanted to pick it up, and and Capstone was lovely enough to gift us a copy of it. So Tangram City is a good one.
Liquid Snake says, show me the dungeon crawlers. We got Gloomhaven buttons and boxes right there. It's just small.
Boom, there it is.
That's our dungeon crawler. That's the only one.
That's it. That's the only one.
That's it. But this is sort of fun.
Also, dungeon crawlers are huge, so like it's hard to bring them home.
Yeah, this is fun, like a dungeon crawler.
My gosh, I'm so excited.
And so heavy. This
We
is
somehow didn't have this already.
Thunder Road Vendetta, which we did from Restoration Games, who gave us this copy.
Yes.
We did coverage of their crowdfunding campaign.
During the Kickstarter.
Last February it was,
No, I think it
or
was earlier than
January?
that, maybe. I'm not even sure.
Anyway, so
Whatever.
it's obviously done. It's been out for a while now. And we got ourselves the Chrome edition with all the fun goodies and stuff to make just as many explosions as possible, basically.
Yeah.
So this is
Super
one we know
excited.
we enjoy and love.
Yeah, we got to play it on BGG for game night recently.
check it out on
so
game
that
night.
as well.
Go
It was
check it
really,
out.
really fun.
Tell them
Yeah,
we
I
sent you.
love Thunder Road. Thunder Road might be my favorite Restoration game.
It's really fun, man.
And I'm very excited to have
We got to
it.
play Tark Tower again for sure.
Yeah. I really like Thunder Road a lot.
So we knew
I'm
we were
very
going to like
excited.
this one. So thank you for giving us that, and we have all the fun goodies because you really gotta add in the
embrace it,
extra stuff.
Oh yeah.
You gotta get the player
Especially
powers.
at least the chop shop to get the player
Gotta get the
powers.
vibes.
For sure. Another thing
the
from
fire.
Hachette, we got Task Team. Do you have what it takes to win this crazy task off? I have no idea what this is. So I'm read the back. So Task Team, each turn, 2 teams go head-to-head over a task while the third referees, then they swap roles. The referee randomly draws one of the game's 150 silly tasks. Get ready for the task. Grab dice, counters, spinning tops, pencils, paper, tape measures, and a sand timer. On the referee's signal, the 2 teams battle out. The first team to win 7 tasks wins the game. So I think the tasks are just like, dude, spin a top on your nose, or do these little
I think
things.
it's very it's like super happy salmon. Right?
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
crazy stuff. A little bit of like
Which sounds fun.
A little bit of like was it Double Dare and silly things and build card tower. So like
Party game kind of
crazy
stuff,
party
yeah.
game. This is one that Hachette added in from Gigamic.
Gigamic?
And so be honest, don't know if I'll ever play it, but if there's, I think it's gonna be really fun for a
It would
video.
probably, yeah.
So I think if we do it, we'll do Yumi and Jimmy as like some sort of challenge video, but like try to do it more crazy than usual. So we'll see if we can
we'll
find
see.
an application for this. But like, yeah, dope. Like, gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. All right, now we're getting into the beef, man. Now we're getting into, at least on my side, 2 of our most desired things. So let's go ahead and start with the big dog.
It's so much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Here's the thing. This is the second thing we purchased.
This is.
This is the second thing we purchased all con.
Yes.
And did not, so this was like 20 minutes into
the
day
haul,
1.
yeah.
And I did not know that this was so big and so thick.
I knew it was this size.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was this size. I
So I
thought it was like Arc Nova.
We have to carry this around all day now, which we did.
And then
the
the bag
was not able to handle it.
Every time.
But this is a big old crunchy euro. It's been referred to as Lacerda-esque, partially because Ian O'Toole, the
It
master,
looks like a Lacerda game, to
did
be
the
fair.
art, which he does Lacerda's games as
Yeah.
well. But this is a big old crunchy euro where you are providing renewable energy source like wind power, and developing technologies and stuff, and managing your kind of economy and stuff, and the types of action cards you play, trying to keep prices where
Seems
they can
really
be, but
cool.
keep flexibility of action types.
It looks really good.
I just want to get into this one real bad.
We're going to try and cover this on our channel, and just because we want to play it and we think it'd be cool to show off. And so we're not sure exactly when. Hopefully very soon here.
I saw this right after we got the next game I'll talk about. It's like we got to buy it now because it might sell out and stuff, and they only had limited copies each day.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad we picked
It's
it
a big
up.
one, but
'Cause I've been wanting this one since Amy and Maggie covered this when they were doing their Kickstarter campaign however long ago, and I was like, dang, it looks so good. And then we didn't back it because we knew it'd be available, which it
shoulda.
is. But a little kind of at long last.
Again from Gigamic or Gig Mike, if you're super
Very French. I'm assuming it's more Gigamic, but
Gigamic.
yeah. Probably
We
that's not
played
correct either.
Loot. There's 3 O's in Loot. And we actually played this one. It's basically, we played this with Brain in a Jar, one of our good friends, and you are basically putting out Vikings and stuff, and there's kind of this world, and your Vikings are kind of going, when you're putting them out, you have to put them adjacent to another Viking, and you're basically trying to, I guess, complete like little objectives.
Little contracts.
Yeah, so you basically,
long ships you're
they're like
building.
long ships, and to build that long ship, you have to surround it by certain resources, like trees and not stone, gold,
Sheep and gold
stuff like that,
and different types of
and that's how you
buildings.
eventually can flip it over, which means you get to score those points. It's cool. I know you played a little bit of this on BGA, and this was given to us by Hachette, and so we broke it out and played it, and it was good. It was a fun little quick pretty relaxing game where you're kind of getting in each other's way because you went to a spot. Once there's a spot, you can't go to the same spot as someone else. Yeah, I thought it was good. I really liked it.
Yeah, I enjoy it for the kind of casualness, basically tile laying. And as you complete these long ships, they are going to make the value of every tile you add to your fjord has a value, an inherent value, like sheep are worth 1 point or whatever. But if I complete long ships that have a little sheep icon at the bottom, when you complete it and flip it over, it's going to add to the value of that thing. So if I've invested a bunch in sheep and I've completed like 2 different tasks, these long ships that require sheep, now maybe my sheep are worth 5 points apiece.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of fun investment of like, I happen to place a lot of gold, let me get stuff that's going to increase that value.
Or just ignore it altogether because you're like, well, I'm not doing gold this game, so I'm just going to get sheep.
But it's ultimately a fairly light game of just kind of spatially making sure, ideally, if I put a tree here, it's working on 2 tasks.
Yes, that's
so you want to try to be really efficient with your planning. So great if you kind of like spatial tiling. Really happy to have it. And it's on Board Game Arena, so play it over there.
Yeah, it's fun.
Play it over there, you cowards.
Indeed. Sorry. What you got over there?
I've got my last one from this side.
Oh, that's it? Oh, I got a couple more.
Come here. This was number 1, I think, on our list, wasn't it?
It was I think it was on our list. The one we wanted to get.
It's the first thing we got anyway.
And it was the first thing we got.
So this is the search for UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena. For someone who corrected us in the comments, like it's aerial phenomena.
You're wrong.
You wrong.
You were wrong.
You doink.
Yeah.
Boom. So unidentified anomalous phenomena, UFOs.
Yeah.
And this is in the search for line. So following search for Planet X and the search for lost species. Here you are on. There's a little dual layer board. We're on Earth looking up to the skies
again. We did play this one. We played it in our hotel room on the bed.
Way too late at night.
Way too late at night.
I was way too tired.
Not good time for deduction.
Well, you did good. I was so lost.
I beat Mike pretty good.
I did not know where anything was. And this one, you are on Earth looking up again, but this version that's different from Search for Planet X takes into consideration the fact that the Earth is moving.
It's rotating.
And spinning. This flat Earth of ours. And as it rotates, things on the inner orbit and outer orbit are going to disalign from each other. And you have the same kind of thing where it's logic deduction. There's going to be deduction rules that are kind of standard from game to game. And certain elements about you're looking for the UAP like that are specific to this game. So there are satellites you can observe. There's like the Hubble Space Telescope, the ISS. Meteorites and things in the sky, and you're trying to identify different sectors and stuff. But then as you get these satellites up, you can start to analyze the satellites, which give you information. And they each do different things. Like one will tell you like a quantity of a certain object, because there's not always the same. There's not always the same meteorites.
It's kind of like going to town and search for lost species. That's how you get. You're going to get more of the logic rules.
Correct.
Yeah.
And one thing I really liked about this one was just the fact that every so often Earth will rotate a bit and things kind of change, which changes up like what sort of things you might be able to observe,
or like what you're next
verify,
to. Exactly.
Or what you're next to.
And then each quadrant, because you're basically. The app will there's all these rules that can go into the quadrant. Like you can't do this action here. Sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're good. Like moving here or moving from here doesn't cost any time. And so it's nice because every game, the app just randomly chooses 4 of them. And then you can also be like, I don't want to play with that one, and just switch it out in the app. But it's cool because the app knows what rules are where. So if you have a thing,
takes care of the bookkeeping.
Like we had one where again, we're moving from that area was free. So if you click the move thing and it knew you were there, it would say no time. It was very cool because the app just kind of knows stuff. I thought it was cool. I really like this series of games. We've only played it once. As of right now, gut check reaction. I think this is my second favorite. I think I still like Search for Lost Species more because this one, kind of like Search Planet X, you're kind of just moving around a circle, whereas the Search for Lost Species, you're moving around an island. I just find that to be personally more interesting. But this one's got more going on, and so I'm definitely really excited to explore this more. But I love all 3 of them.
Yeah, the variety in this one is really kicked up a notch because of like the powers that can change on the spaces on Earth. The way you can observe some things, if I observe up and I look at a quadrant, you're looking at 4 sectors, or I can look at a stack sector, so I'm only looking at 2.
Yeah, or a single
sector. That's really neat.
Yeah.
And then the fact that from game to game, the amount of like satellites of a certain type will change.
Yes.
And so so it's not always there's not always like 4 of this.
Yeah,
and
it'll be
2
like
of that.
there's 0 to 4 of these. You're like, who knows?
Yeah, so there's like a lot of kind of variety from game to game, which is cool. And I'm in the same boat of like gut check after 1 play. I would slot this in second behind Search for Lost Species, but like
it's very cool.
Amazing.
And some people in the chat are asking about SETI and how they're similar they are. They're nothing alike. We didn't get a chance to play SETI, but we did get a chance to look at it. And CG Ilani was able to show us a bit of it.
SETI is not a deduction game. It's just a crunchy euro.
Absolutely no way similar. So they just have a kind of a similar theme. That's literally it. There's nothing remotely similar about them.
SETI? I'm gonna call it now. SETI guaranteed at its lowest top 3 of the year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Guaranteed.
I think it's gonna be number 2. Can't talk about number 1 yet, but I think it's gonna be number 2.
Might be number 1. Who knows?
It might be number 1. We also got the PacMan Corridor. This is from Hachette.
Corridor.
Corridor is a game where you're basically trying to, it's like an abstract game where you're basically trying to you're putting out these little wooden pieces. It's kind of like in the koala line, like nice wooden pieces. And you're basically trying to block each other. I can't exactly remember.
You're trying to get your piece to your opponent's edge of the board. So you're trying to make pathways so that they have to go around and stuff. But now it's put in the Pac-Man universe.
Because it looks like a Pac-Man board when you're done. And so now it's Pac-Man. And I think one person is playing the ghosts and one person is playing Pac-Man, which I think is cool. Awesome. Yeah, super excited about this. I've played Corridor before. I'm not super into abstract games, but I did enjoy it when I played it. And then slap Pac-Man on here I think is really funny and weird. And I'm just really hyped.
It plays up to 5 players now because you could each play a different ghost.
Yeah,
stuff,
so
which is
who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not, man? For Pac-Man, I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Like, Miss Pac-Man's my favorite arcade game of all time.
It is. Also from Van Ryder Games, we got Gateway Island. This is a very cool idea that, again, is weird that no one's done before.
Yeah, so Paula put us onto this one because she and Matthew played, I think for a live stream, a few of the different mini games in here. There's like 21, I think,
Whole
mini
bunch
games.
of them, yeah.
And this entire box is designed to teach you board game mechanisms and concepts, and then give you kind of an introduction to that concept with, at the end in the rule book, it says if you like this, try Downforce. Stuff from other publishers.
Yeah, not Van Ryder stuff.
Different games, kind of next step games. There's a whole big compendium of board game terminology, which is something that is so useful because, and we're guilty of this too, we want to put in our videos little definitions of things.
Yeah.
But we all talk inside baseball a lot. We talk a lot of jargon.
Inside baseball, yeah.
And we'll just say da-da-da, crunchy euro. I've said that 4 times in this video, and you might be like, what does that mean? And this gives you some definitions for what board game terms you're going to hear often, which I think is super useful. So there's a bunch of mini games that will introduce you to stuff. And from what Paula said, they're actually super fun. So if you want a little bluffing game, there's that. A little racing game, there's that. All sorts of stuff using just an efficiency of pieces and stuff because it's in a tiny little box. So really love the idea of this.
Yeah.
And then again, recommending other games to go check out.
And it's not just their own games. I think it's very cool.
I think it's really in the spirit of what board games can be. So I'm super excited to try that. I'm just that's just the coolest thing ever. So
another big thing from Restoration, it's actually not the heaviest, it's awkward, is Crossbows and Catapults. We covered this on a stream. Then a Kickstarter for this. We also got, this is just more stuff in this. Crossbows and Catapults. This is a redo of a game where it's kind of it's a lot of a toy, and but they made a game kind of an actual game around that, where you're going to build up your little kind of castle. You're going to build up your little fortress or whatever, and then you have crossbows and catapults, and you're basically flicking these discs at the other person's structure, trying to knock it down, and basically trying to knock over their characters, because their characters will be strategically put around. They're going to be moving around. You're basically trying to knock them over. It's ridiculously fun. It's just very, very silly. You're just building the thing and shooting stuff at each other. We got kind of all the stuff for it. You can build big ones. It's just a great toy to just play with.
Oh my God, yeah. You know, when Logan discovers how to build these things, she's gonna be happy.
But they made a game, and there's special characters you can bring in and stuff.
And powers
it's cool.
And stuff,
it's just really, really fun. But again, it's updated. The component quality is much better. It's very, very cool. They had a whole big setup for it in the booth, which was brilliant.
A little firing range.
And it was very popular. It was super, super fun. This is like Vikings versus Orcs or something like that. Is in this one. It's a really good time. So very excited
build a
to have
castle
that.
and try to blow it to pieces.
For Logan
the
alone.
most simple premise ever. So,
alrighty.
Yeah.
We did get a chance to play in the footsteps of Mary Curie. We got to play with our friend Jared.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Jared.
Shouts out, Big JB.
This is a kind of sequel in terms of theming to In the Footsteps of Darwin, which was just nominated for the Spiel.
Yeah.
But this is about Mary Curie, which is super, super cool. And it's a really light game where you're kind of going through her life, and you're obviously doing chemistry and things like that, and you're getting different things like what is it? It's pitch
slap or something. Pitch something.
I can't remember. Pitch something. uranium and radium, and you're basically you can turn them into each other and things like that. And you're getting beakers, and you're basically kind of doing a little bit of fulfilling contract kind of things.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was pretty light. I kind of wish it had a little bit more zhuzh to it. But this was also
from very much the same. It's very light tiling.
I think they're meant to be that, to be fair. But yeah, it was really good. The art's great. It's cool to go through Marie Curie's Pitch Blend. That's what it was. Thank you.
Pitch Blend. Thank you.
There was something in there. And yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. It's a great light game, and it's about a cool person, and so it's rad.
And there's a lot of like history stuff in there where you can read up on like
second booklet, basically.
Yeah, because there's basically all these different things as you're moving through just to track the timing of the game. They're different. All those are important years in her life where she like maybe got the Nobel Prize or things like that. So there's a lot of like educational material. Same thing within the Footsteps of Darwin.
Yes.
You can learn about these people as well. So I'm like, cool. And I thought originally that was just gonna be like another tiling game, like just a reskin, but it's a different game where you're dropping cubes into resource management.
Yeah, it's a cube tower too.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's really cool that they're making
really
like
cool.
different games, but the same kind of educational lean and everything.
Yeah.
But like actual fun games to play. So
Yeah.
I actually like that game a lot.
Really, I liked it a lot too. All right, last game we got is Santa's Workshop because Christmas is coming, baby.
Can't wait.
This is from Elf Creek Games, and we were gifted this by Elf Creek Games. Shouts out to them. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I love Christmassy themed games. I like games themed around holidays in general, and I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, so this is Santa's Workshop, where your elves working in the workshop. I think it's worker placement, and you're basically getting everything ready for Christmas Eve, like the big show. And stuff. So yeah, you're making toys. You got to tend to the reindeer, trees to trim, and stuff like that. Just getting everything ready for Christmas. It's got that. It looks like Andrew Bosley art.
I believe it is. Yes,
gotta be.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. So like, we're always in search of like holiday specific games because I think it's really cool. And there's like Boop the Halls, which there was a very limited amount of copies at Gen Con, which we didn't
even try. There's multiple games we didn't even try to get.
But like, I love their stuff like that because like we can get cozy around that time of year. I really love the look of this.
It's gorgeous.
And I'm really excited to try it because it's just like, I mean, there's nothing but Christmas right here, and that's really stoked. So I'd love to do a playthrough of this to release around the holidays.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes up our list.
It is. Yes.
Let's get into some recap, man. How was your Gen Con?
It was great. It was
And
the best
also,
Gen
we'll
Con.
start paying more attention to chat. Thank you so much
Yes,
for being
indeed.
so active. I'll bring this back in now.
Indeed. Paul has said double feature: Santa's Workshop and then the North Pole Nightmare Final Girl. Down.
Oh,
that's a good day.
Not bad.
That's a good day.
We do have it.
Yeah, recap. It was great. It was the best Gen Con I've ever been to. That is mostly because Mike was there this year. He wasn't there last year, and we weren't working. As we kind of mentioned before, we are trying to. At this point, we really aren't working at any cons. We're not in the booth. We're not taking really any meetings. If they are a couple, it's usually with our friends.
Yeah, we opt for. It's not. We opt for organic connections with people. Like go up, say hi, touch base, catch up a little bit, and say, hey, we'll email you after. So we did do a lot of that, but it was just like catching up because a lot of people, we've been in this hobby and on the industry side for quite a while now. So there's a lot of people that we know pretty well at this point. So it's really nice to be able to catch up briefly. Everyone's slammed and busy, so we don't try to take up too much time.
We're fine.
We just have that connection point. So we opted for that more so than adding to someone's already busy schedule.
Yeah, so the fact that we didn't really work, we actually got to play games, we got to hang out with our friends. It was the best Gen Con I've ever been to. It was great.
It was awesome.
It was amazing. We got to play a ton of games.
Yeah.
We were it's the only way I want to go to cons at this point. I don't want to work. I have no interest in working at cons.
Like one thing we got to do, and for anyone that came up and said hi to us during the con, thank you so much for doing that. Please never feel bad about doing it. Especially for us, like we're not working a booth. If you're working a booth, don't linger. Don't spend too much time because maybe they have tasks to do. Maybe they have their boss right there wondering like what the heck that person's doing.
Yeah, right.
But like always go say hi, even briefly. And so we had a chance to talk to people more. Yeah. Because we weren't on our way to a meeting where we had to say hi, sorry, got to rush off.
We got to go.
We got to spend a couple minutes like actually talking with people, about what they've been getting, how the con's been, whatever it might be. Because we had the time. So like that alone was so nice to be able to just like be leisurely with when we arrive, when we leave, what we do, what games we play, whatever, because we had time on our hands. It was really nice. I felt very, I struggle at times with feeling rushed a lot where I'm like, worried about time, and oh my gosh, 2 days have passed, there's only too many
Yeah.
days left. It's called having anxiety, which I'm on medication for now, which is great.
Bless.
And probably also helped. And I felt very much like at peace with what we were doing and how we did it and stuff this time around, which was really, really great.
Yeah, so I mean, this is your first Gen Con, because last year at Gen Con, we also weren't really working. We had a couple meetings, a little bit more than this time, but we really didn't have much.
More.
And, because there's one thing, we always work at these big cons, and so we're like, we don't actually know if we like these big cons, because we're always working them. So we need to figure out if we actually like them, because they're expensive to go to. Like, do we actually want to go to spend some vacation, basically, to do it? And so, yeah, you had a good time?
Hated it. No, I loved it. It was awesome.
I really like Gen Con. I enjoy it just as a patron.
It was really fun to go and just be able to experience it purely through the eyes of a hobbyist. And yeah, so I loved it. I would absolutely go again. It was busy. It was sold out all 4 days for the first time ever.
Nuts.
So it was really slammed. But what we did was we got in as the doors opened on Thursday.
Yeah.
We did one of those things. And then the rest of the days, we just got in, like, not later, but like 10:30, a half hour after, and I would...
The crowds dissipate a little bit.
Since we're not in a rush to get anything, it's like, it was much better that way. Then everyone has a chance to spread out, but, like, it was very fun. The vibes were great. Everyone was super kind. Like, there was no negativity that we encountered. We got to do dinner with some of our
yes, and shout out to the Board Game family New York in chat. That was Pete and Lauren there. So wonderful.
Linnea as well joined us, and Jabs.
Yes, and Jabs saw it early in the chat. It was. We got to take so our Kickstarter backers out to dinner. That was so much fun. We got to do another dinner with Missy, and it was so much fun. That's like the best part of the whole thing. Yeah, it was great. It was outstanding. It was so much fun. I really enjoy Gen Con. I like big crowds. I like stuff like that. I understand why people don't.
It's fun to see the spectacle and the size.
Yeah,
I
enjoy it.
This hobby is
people are all dressed up. Like people are figuring out what people are interested in, what they're not interested in. Talking the kind of every single person you talk to, they're like, so "What have you gotten? What have you seen at the con? What looks interesting?" I just love those kinds of conversations. I think it's really, really fun.
There goes Jabs. Speaking of, we've summoned him.
Jabs, baby.
That's our Gen Con dinner with me. Heck yeah,
that's right.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So. What was the final attendee count? I'm not sure, but it was sold out. So I think it's like 80,000.
I'm sure they'll release, that. But in terms of unique people, because not everyone's doing all 4 days. I mean, I don't know, probably upwards of 100,000 people. I got to think across the thing. And
for sure, easily,
There's a lot of folks. It was very busy.
So it was really, really good. There are definitely a couple games we didn't end up getting. We didn't get the two DeVere games we really wanted, which was Rock Hard, 1977 by our good friend Jackie Fox. Although we did get to have lunch with Jackie Fox, which was
amazing.
Yeah. We didn't get Cities by that Praise Be and Steve Finn. We are going to be getting sent them from DeVere, so we will have them soon.
There's a few things that are, so those, we have Foundations of Metropolis,
a couple Arcane Wonders
Comic Hunters, a couple things coming from Arcane Wonders. We didn't get like Gnome Hollow or Stock Exchange, anything from the op, but they're going to be sending us stuff. So this haul is mostly complete, but there will be a few things coming. We just sort of said like, hey, make your money, get your sales, we'll email you out.
Sell your stuff here,
We're not in a rush.
Yeah, I was going to finally buy a copy of The Alchemist, but we went there on Sunday, and then it was sold out. So I think we're getting a copy of that, too.
Yeah. So shout out to all those publishers for sending those things along. We'll follow up with y'all soon.
Yeah. Connie, I'm sad we didn't get to bump into you. I assumed you were there, and I was really hoping we were going to get to run into you, but we unfortunately did not.
Now, 71,000 is their published number. Gosh, there's a lot of people, isn't it?
That's a lot of people.
Dang. Zen, did you have a good con? I'm sorry I didn't run into you, but
I know.
Hope you had fun.
But yeah, it was really, really good. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions about games, so I'm trying to think of like what else did we see? We didn't get a chance to go to like the Oink booth. I wanted to go pick up a couple of those games.
We were wandering around and we never spotted it.
I still to this day have no idea where it was. We've walked through every single thing, but there's definitely some things on Sunday where like, did we not walk down this portion of this like hallway here because we didn't see it? So
there was this company, and I can't remember their name offhand, that makes these kind of shadow box, like these layered art pieces that are so cool.
They were the coolest thing
And they can buy stuff and have them shipped. So we're like, we didn't want to risk it getting damaged.
Yes.
But they had so many ones that were like board game related. They had just like nerd stuff, Lord of the Rings things, awesome stuff about like you get one for Illinois or California.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them.
And there's just these really cool layered painted things. So we're definitely want to pick one of those up for like decor for the office. Like those things were super cool. So we got to wander through all like the art. There's a lot of, as always, really cool art. There's a ton of like great RPG stuff.
Yeah.
It was really fun to kind of wander through and get to some of the areas of the hall that like we haven't always had time to get to in the past.
Yeah.
But we were able to wander around a little bit more this time and just like, see stuff because we were just sort of going where the wind would take us.
Whatever the heck we wanted to do, yeah.
It was super fun.
Just asked, if you have never gone to a board game con before, which do you recommend going to first?
Great question.
I think it depends on what kind of con you want. If you want a con where you're mostly just hanging around playing games, that's a very different convention than like a Gen Con.
Sure.
If you're looking at that kind of con, I would say the BGG cons. BGG Spring specifically is great, but also BGG Fall is as well.
Yeah.
The BGG cons are the best hang out playing games cons. They're a lot like the Dice Tower cons, but the Dice Tower cons are just like, the BGG con is more chill. I don't know why
I think
or
the Dice
how.
Tower cons are slightly larger.
Yeah.
So there's more people and stuff. They are very laid back as well, and all that. But yeah, we found for our personal enjoyment and stuff, the BGG cons are tops because we just like to sit around and play games. They have a humongous 4,000 game library.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
Of course, everyone's bringing their own stuff as well, and it's really, really kicked back, just hanging out playing games.
In terms of a buying con, what would you say?
Because I would say
hard to
the
beat a
problem
Gen Con,
with the
man.
big buying cons, they're all really big. I'd probably say Origins just because it's
Sure, I
like
haven't
it's
been to
the
that one, but-
smallest. PAX Unplugged is also really, really big.
Really large.
I kind of like just jump in the deep end with Gen Con personally. Because you can
Talked
kind
to a lot
of do
people who
Gen
was their
Con.
first ever con, Gen Con. I'm like, hey, why not?
You
If you
can
don't mind crowds, I
Yes.
guess one thing to note is like for some people that's not a thing they enjoy. Gen Con is busy everywhere. It's busy to go get food. It's busy to go get games. It's busy to go find space to play games. You're dealing with people the whole time. So if that's cool with you, then like Gen Con is the tops. Nabari mentions like look for local stuff.
Yeah, really.
Nabari, works with certain like kind of smaller local conventions. For a long time, we'd go to Strategicon in Los Angeles. Those are really a great place to start. That's probably the honest answer. And there's more of them around, from medium size to super small and stuff. There's more of them around than you'd think, and I would recommend doing that because it's also not as much travel to go to a thing, and the vibes are usually pretty chill. Yeah. You want to chill and play games? Yeah, BGG Con.
Yeah.
If you don't mind getting to Dallas.
And Mary Lou Zen asked, I have to try BGG Con. Which one is the best spring or fall? They're ultimately mostly the same.
Very similar.
I would say I like where you're staying in spring. I feel like there's more game playing area, or at least it's just more access to it. But the one in fall is in a way better location because they're in two different places in Dallas. And so they're both great. But I would say if you had to probably pick fall because the one in spring is in the airport, Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. And so you have
Which
to
is convenient because you'd be flying in,
yes,
so
it's
you're
very
already there when
convenient
you
for that.
land if you go to Dallas-Fort Worth.
The fall one is like downtown or like right next to downtown. So you could like walk downtown stuff. So
which we've done before.
yeah, so
it's
fall
fun.
is probably better for that, but they're both great.
Yeah.
And so
PAX because it's closer. Yeah, can't go wrong. PAX is amazing.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Shucks, never been to Shucks. Don't know. I've heard it's great, but never been.
Nabar says PAX Unplugged is more accessible in my opinion than Gen Con or Origins.
Yeah, probably.
We love PAX. We're hoping to go this year. We'll see financially if it can work out.
Would
but,
love to, but
yeah, it's Chris Whitpan. Hey, Chris Whitpan, I bet you can recommend PAX Unplugged.
yeah, Chris Whitman definitely can.
It was one of our favorite parts of PAX Unplugged is Chris Whitpan. So.
And so
Yeah, they're in different places, both in Dallas.
They're both in
but
Dallas.
one's at the airport hotel, one of the Hyatts in the airport area, and then one's downtown.
Yeah, so they're both great though.
Yeah.
And they're the same basically.
Linnea caught up, so we're not on double speed anymore. Are we talking like
let's go.
we're in molasses now?
Let's go back through chat, see if there's anything we missed. But yeah, it was good. Oh, someone asked about who was it?
Oh, second edition of Legendary.
Yeah, which I
someone
did
asked
not.
about.
I have not heard about. Jason.
Chris Bennett says, "You know a guy.
You know a guy.
We know the guy.
We
in
know
our
the
hearts."
guy. Yeah,
All right.
I did not hear
I really
that
hope we can
Legendary
make
had
it
a
this year,
second
man, so we
edition.
can see if nothing else.
We gotta get a contact at Upper Deck, man. Upper Deck, if you're
do.
watching this.
Give us all of not unmatched, but Legendary, because we be fans and we're also well behind. One thing says, okay, I got a question. Was there any new mechanics or themes you saw that made you pause and go, huh, for good or bad?
Any mechanics or themes?
Let me think. I feel like
That's an interesting question.
Oh gosh. Let me think on that.
Is one more family friendly for BGG cons? I think specifically spring is supposed to be BGG family, right?
I think Yeah, and they're both great for families and
Yes.
stuff, but I think BGG Spring caters to families
Yes.
more, so there'll be more kids and stuff. If that's something that you are, concerned with and want to make sure, Spring is probably the better option. But super family friendly cons, both of them.
Yeah.
So,
Go back
or
to
you know what?
Mechanics of theme thing. What?
Hold on. I might have misspoke there. BGG Fall might only be for adults.
I think it is.
Yeah, so my bad. Don't quote me on that. And
Yeah,
stuff, but I think
double
maybe
check
if you want kids
sources.
to go, then they have to go to BGG Spring.
I think so. I think BGCon might only.
I think
One of them is specifically made for families, and the other one is not.
Yeah, Spring is definitely the family one, but yeah, I was thinking like, I think BGG Fall is only adults.
In terms of mechanics or themes that we saw, I mean, I don't think so. The problem is like we don't get to play games at Gen Con very much. At least we don't demo games much. You like demoing more than I do, but it's like so in terms of like I'll tell you one. It was not at Gen Con in terms of being sold there, but it was very, very different, and I am dumb hyped about this game. Shouts out to Paula. What was it called? It's by Adam's Apple Games, who makes Planet Unknown. It's like a cooperative Scrabble
Path building game, yes. That game looks awesome.
It's called Word Butt or something. It's not called Word Butt. It's called something else. It starts with a D. Dictionary Defenders or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. Paul is
Defenders of the Dictionary or something like that.
It was really, really cool. You basically have a big city grid, and then you're fighting some kind of big enemy, and you have to play words, Scrabble style, to get around the city. So it's a big grid. So if you put like butts with a Z, B-U-T-T-Z, or I guess B-U-T-T-Z, that goes like this, and then you can build off that way. And you basically have to like hit certain objectives, like you have to like put a tile on top of it. There's like enemies moving around. You have to kind of surround them to keep them from moving. You're going over and trying to fight this big thing, but you're doing it all through like words, and you're all contributing letters to like basically a big pool, and then you all kind of collectively decide a word from that pool to put down on the board and where to put it down. And it's nice because I'm not a huge word game fan because I'm not very good at word games. They make me feel stupid, to be completely honest. And so this is nice because it's cooperative, so everyone can kind of contribute.
Yeah, because you can say, hey, maybe this, and like maybe that inspires. Oh, if we do that, like you came up with like notary or some crazy word, and we're like, dang, where'd you come up with that? You know what I mean? Because we can all kind of talk it out what we want to do word-wise, and then the words, kind of like Scrabble, certain letters are more valuable than others because they're rarer, and those will score you points. So you need to get all those goals done, and hit a point threshold, and do all this stuff. So it was really cool. I'm really excited for that to hit crowdfunding.
That was the one I was like the most, that wasn't there, but really like in terms of theme, in terms of mechanics, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, really, really cool. Catching up with chat here. Linnea just got Hotel for PAX, Ripper merch. Very, very cool. You work in the Explored booths as Aaron Taylor. Sorry we didn't run into you. Maybe next time.
Yeah, indeed. Same with Ryan Michaels in the CG room.
Hey, teaching in the CG room.
Did you guys get to demo Arcs? No, we have played Arcs. We played Arcs when Shay was in town when we were filming Luthier. He brought Arcs and we played it. We were actually planning on filming a playthrough of Arcs after our playthrough of Luthier, but Luthier had all these technical difficulties, and so we didn't end up getting around to it, which was unfortunate because we really, really wanted to show it off.
Yeah.
So no, we didn't demo it because we've already played it. And we also did not pick it up because it's one of my least favorite games ever.
I enjoyed it more, but I don't need to own it, especially because who would I play with?
I'll preface that by saying the game's a masterpiece. It's just very much not a game for me.
Yeah, so it's not a diss on the game at all. The game is great. Charlotte out here, you alone, Shark. It's always a highlight to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the treats as well.
Indeed.
Very much appreciate that. Astrovision was the Game Shadow Box booth at Gen Con.
That's what it was. Yes, it was
so dope.
Really cool. Really cool stuff.
All of them. I don't have the money for them all, but I want them all.
They're pretty expensive, but we're going to be buying at least one. The question is which one to buy.
Jason Walker put us on Upper Deck's radar for Legendary. Thank you so much.
Do.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's a bummer that Pandasaurus didn't have infiltrators, but I'm sure it'll be in retail soon. Yeah, really wanted to pick that one up. It didn't arrive in time, so it goes.
Yeah.
You see Harvest and Parks, the roll and hike
Harvest.
from Keymaster. Yes, I forgot. I wanted to go pick up the roll and hike, and I forgot.
And we also meant to pick up Harvest, also forgot. So, it happens.
But Cece says Harvest is at Target, so I'll just pick it up there.
Oh, wow, that's good to know.
That's a great thing about stuff that's at Gen Con. Hits stores pretty soon after Gen Con. So if you miss something it's like that you want, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Defenders of the Dictionary, yes.
I think that's what it was,
man, that game was fun.
We
only
cool.
played like 2 rounds.
Yeah,
like
but it was really
we
fun.
only got just the tiny
That
bit.
was mechanically the one I was the most
very cool.
into.
Did you get to see Colorfield? No, Mondo, is that yours?
Is that yours?
Where's that?
What I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. We got the color. What's the other color game we got?
We got
Speed color.
colors.
Yeah, that's what we got.
What did it?
What it do?
Oh, catching in between back to school training. Oh man, you're back to school.
Yeah, that's right, baby. It's back to
I
teacher
guess
time.
it's about to be mid-August.
Yeah.
Shoot, what it do? You do, boo-boo. We've seen your better half in chat, though. Ark says, no holds barred, professional wrestling brawl. You have to like getting smashed in the face with the table and then doing it to someone else. Yeah, it's very... Leader Games makes aggressive games.
Yes.
Like, they are games where you are directly opposed to someone and you need to get to your goal through them. That's the types of games they make. And so when we say like, and granted, I've come to enjoy Root quite a bit because I've been able to learn it better. I'm awful at it, but I kind of know what I'm doing. They make such high-level games, and they're just typically more aggressive than the kind of, we like to play Euro games where you're indirectly beating someone out for something or you beat someone to an objective. Yeah. It just matches our style better. I've gotten more into directly interactive games.
I'm still not.
And so anytime, just so you know, if ever we're just sort of seemingly dogging on a leader game and stuff, it's like, it's with full acknowledgement that these are masterpieces, and for people that are like these games, you can do no better. They just don't fit our style as much. And that's the whole thing.
I will
of
never like
the
Arcs.
power of saying like, this isn't a game for me is a powerful thing, because this game is for a lot of other people. It's objectively good.
And it's
you know,
it's way more, I don't know, mature, I guess, to be like, this game's great, it's just not for me, than to be like, I like this game, you don't, so you're wrong. It's like, no, I hated Arcs. I think it's a masterpiece for other people. Yeah. It's just not a game for me. And that's fine to acknowledge that.
For sure.
It is one of my least favorite games ever made on the planet. The only way you can make that game worse for me is to put negotiation in it, and that's what the expansion does. So it's like, it's just, it's one of the things.
Really
like,
not your thing.
I went into it knowing I was gonna hate it. I still tried it, because sometimes I've been wrong. It's just, it's what it is. It's not an insult to the game to be like, I hated that.
Yeah, I'll give you so much credit as a human being. Nick,
I don't think
more
I
than
that
about
much.
anyone I know, tries stuff that you're pretty sure you're not going to like, whether it be food, games, or whatever. There's not a lot of people who are open-minded that way, where you're like, I don't think I'm going to like this, but I will try it, and just, if nothing else, verify that finding. And like, I think that's awesome.
You can acknowledge something is good without liking it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of movies that I think I hate, but like I acknowledge they're good. You know, it's like, it's not hard to do that. It's not insulting to the game to say I don't like this game, but I acknowledge that it's a good game. That's not an insult at all.
Yeah, Linnea says, I have a wish list at Miniature Market to grab some of the games I missed out at Gen Con, because I'm still in Gen Con mode and decided I was so good and didn't go overboard, I deserve to buy more. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Do with your money what
we
you
brought
will.
home a decent amount, but we did not fill all of our bags. So I also am proud of us. Yeah.
Paul says, apparently Target released Harvest a couple weeks earlier than they were supposed to, and Keymaster's like, could you please not? We're still delivering.
Ooh, the Terraforming Mars model. Yeah, I love the Terraforming Mars model.
Yeah, Target's just like, it's mine. I'll get them send you one, dude.
Oh,
Mondo,
cool, Mondo.
Congrats. Color feel is great, says the Alone Shark right there. Oh, dude, yeah, please, if you could put in a good word to a couple of guys. And it's good to see you, man. I hope the family's doing well, by the way.
Vision said, recently played Hegemony. I'm surprised how well it works. That's what I've been hearing. Again, a game I don't think I'm going to like really love, but I really want to try.
But more so for like it's too close to life, right?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if I need
really want to
I don't know if I need to play a game that's like it's just the various classes struggling against each other. I'm like, that's just life.
I don't know if I want to be like, no, you don't get.
It's just a theme. It's like it has nothing to do with the game or it's being good or bad. It's just not a theme that I particularly find interesting.
Sure.
I like games about cities and like real life, but for some reason, mostly like building. And it's just like that one just for whatever reason doesn't appeal to me. But I acknowledge that it's a masterpiece. People love it, and I do really want to try it. And I think I might be wrong about it, but I don't know if I'm going to like it that much.
Stars says, did any of you manage to play Tales of Arthurian Nights at Gen Con? Seems like no one's talking about it. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, that's the Tale of Arabian Nights,
the new one.
No, not at all.
Decades later. So, but I don't know if it was there or not. It might have been.
I wonder, Paula, if you're going to get that game, because you love Tale of Arabian Nights.
Paula was immediately the one commenting. Was it there? It's such a highly anticipated game for me. I had no idea it was there. My guess is that if it was there, we would have heard more about it, because there's going to be so many people that are really interested in it. I'm interested in it as well. Paula has a lot of history with Tales of Arabian Nights. We haven't ever played that, but
she wrote it.
Yeah.
You know?
Check out, I need to play it. I wrote it, so I know.
Connie said, I had the same experience with Arcs as Nick. I bounced off it really hard. I'm never going to like highly aggressive zero-sum games, but no shade in the game at all. Exactly, you know?
It's great that it exists, you know? There's so many games that we've played that are fine or whatever, not really our cup of tea, and I end it by saying, I'm super glad this exists.
Yes.
Because this is going to be somebody's jam.
Yes. I'm so happy we're so into it.
Yeah.
Good for leader games doing well and people like them is always good. It's good for the hobby. It's good for the publisher. It's good for the people who get to play them and like them. Like, it's always good.
And that's part of why, like, in general, is getting, like, more philosophical with our channel.
Yeah.
But, like, why we're not super, you know, we've been dogged before just for not being, like, as critical or negative as we could be. And I'm like, first of all, there's enough of that in the world. I don't need to use my energy on negativity.
Yes,
it's just not, it's a zero, there's zero return on that investment. And then also, it's like, it almost always comes down to, this isn't the favorite thing for me, but it's someone else's, so who am I to say this is trash?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not good for me.
Yeah.
I am a subjective, singular person experiencing a singular version of life. And so it's like, that's why we don't focus on
I don't like
negative. If it's not
tomatoes,
for us,
but
then
I'm
we
not
just
going to
move
be
on.
like, you shouldn't eat tomatoes because I don't like them. It's like, who
That'd be
cares?
insane.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's a argument that people trash on us for that I fundamentally don't get. They're like, be more negative. I'm like, why? I don't want to. Screw that. Sounds terrible. Sounds like a horrible way to live. No, I don't want
If
to.
you don't like something, just move on to the next
It's
thing.
just such a weird, I don't
Super
know.
easy to do.
It's a weird internet thing that like, I think people just get to be their impulsive selves on the internet. And a lot of times your impulses are negative and it's just so weird to me. But nonetheless.
And apparently, Tales of Arthurian Nights was a Gen Con.
Wow, I did not know
we gotta
that.
get you a copy.
Did not know
Get
that.
you a copy. Oh, and Eric Martin was taking a picture, but that's the only reason I've already noticed. Yeah, so that's weird that didn't. Maybe there was like a very limited amount. I figured that would have been something people were really clamoring for.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that was like new or I wanted to check out the Mandalorian project. I got a very brief look at it.
Yeah.
Didn't get a chance to really look at that one.
We saw a couple of people that were playing it and had played it at the con and really
loved it.
So
loved it. So I'm like, okay, so I'm curious
it might
about that
be
one.
very kind of Jaws of the Lion-ish in terms of like that book with the scenarios and stuff.
Well, I like the adventure
in a cool
book games.
universe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they're not the same as the adventure book games, but I really like the adventure book games. So like this is kind of like a bigger version of that. Yeah, I'm down. I'm not against that at all. We were going to try and demo the Lord of the Rings Seven Wonders Duel game.
I looked at it for a brief
did not get a chance
second.
to do it. Really wanted to demo that. Didn't get a chance to, unfortunately.
Wait to play that, man. I cannot wait. I just like liking things.
Yeah.
Charlotte, right? Like it's just better that way. It's just
weird
it's
world.
literally easier. It's just literally easier to like, especially with the hobby. Most games are amazing.
Yeah, they're at least
like
fun.
compared to like the average hit rate 10 years ago, 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
For anyone that's just like, we're not in the golden age of board gaming, like you are on actual drugs. Like, what are you talking about? Games are amazing.
Games are
none for sale. Okay, so they were just showing it up. All right, that makes more sense because I was like, there would have been people walking around all over the place with copies of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that like we saw that we're like, oh, that seems cool. Like, and again, not other than stuff that like we already knew that we wanted. I don't think there's anything like, whoa, I had not heard about this game at all.
Yeah, we got a little preview of some stuff to come from Restoration Games that we can't talk about yet, but I was like, those are really cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm trying to think, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's probably
as
stuff
always, there's a billion things, and you're only going to see a fraction of them, right? Like,
yeah, I mean that's the thing. There's always stuff, and we definitely picked up some stuff that like I hadn't heard about before. But like, I don't know. It was all good, you know. And it was a great con. Lots of good releases, and I'm sure people will say it was a terrible year for Gen Con. You know, classic.
that'd be weird.
We did get somebody like, there's nothing interesting about that.
Anyone who says on the internet, I promise you, did not go there. So there's that.
Yeah.
Just know that.
It wasn't, the Lorcana craze wasn't there.
There was lines.
There was lines, but it was not like last year.
lines to get to Ravensburger, but they were much more organized this year. So it was very well put together.
A game that we heard a lot about, never actually got a chance to check out was, I think it was called Flickering Stars. What was it called?
Yeah, Flickering Stars.
Flickering Stars is by like Matt Leacock and stuff.
Dexterity.
Yeah, it seemed wild.
Base game.
But we did not get a chance to check it out. But that was one we actively really wanted to check out, but unfortunately did not get a chance to. So,
Corey thinks, okay, you can't talk about them, but how about hint about them?
No, we can also
as always, we get little updates about. I'll tell you this because it's not going to spoil anything. They're going to do more Unmatched, and it's going to be awesome. But you already know that anyway.
They're going to do more.
There's your hint.
They're not done. There's your hint.
One of the items that was talked about, which it wasn't Ninja Turtles, was Unmatched related. But that's always the case.
Said, oh, it sure was. There's a Fight Lord Con booth. I'm sure it was very popular. It just the lines were not out into like the main hallway, which I'm guessing Gen Con was like, yeah, you can't do that again.
Yeah. But they were lined up against that wall, but it was well organized.
I'm not saying it wasn't popular. I'm just saying like compared to last year, in terms of at least the way that it was organized was massively different because that was
last year, they seemed unprepared.
It was like this massive nightmare last year, and this year it was not that way. At least not nearly as bad.
Loving the amount of gray on the screen right now. Yeah, we have this is gray, this is gray. There's all different kinds of gray.
There's a lot of gray.
Just how it happens.
I like gray. Gray's neutral, you know.
Yeah, it's nice. We like it.
And it's nice. We actually found out. Again, our monitor over here is what I was looking over here, but.
We're in our playthrough room right now.
We're in our playthrough room, and because we realized that like doing like rapid reviews, we were thinking about doing rapid reviews in our sitting set, but we're like, we kind of need stuff in front of us, and we don't have to be like holding an iPad the entire time. And then we're also like, well, for things like haul videos, it's just way easier to do them in this setting where we're sitting at a table, we have something to put on here. I was like, God, it's way easier. And then we realized, we're like, oh, we can just do that in here, because if you've seen our vlog videos, you'll know that like just off a frame, like right here, there are the poles that come down that hold our face cameras. And so, but the good thing is like when the camera's way back there, you can't see it. And so we're like, oh, we can actually still have, because we assumed that this kind of set, us both sitting on the same side of a game table, we figured that this set would just not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Because we thought there would be no real way for us to do it.
We put our table on sliders so they're easy to move around.
Yeah.
And Nick was just like, oh, we can just turn this 90 degrees because this camera, this is again talking shop now, not this camera, but this camera position, if you watch our playthrough videos, which you should.
Yeah, it's this camera.
When it comes to a two-shot of the two of us, that's where that camera is. So we're like, oh, we have everything in place to do this.
Yeah, we do.
We just switched it to one of our better cameras.
Yeah, we had to reconfigure a little bit, but yeah, I was like, oh, this works fine. It's
like, oh, that's
it's nice that we have this option because there are, like, we don't want to necessarily do like top 10s and stuff from here, but it's like, there are times where like actually sitting at a table like this is very useful. And so it's kind of good that we can do that. And so, I'm glad this is going well.
Chad, you must have missed it earlier, asking if we have a chance to play ARCs yet. They knew there's some reservations of playing such a mean game, and those reservations were found out. For Nick in particular, really didn't enjoy the game simply because of the style of the game, nothing to do with the quality of the game.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Rewind a couple minutes, we have a whole long talk about it. But it's a masterpiece that's not for me.
Yeah, what we expected.
Yep.
Friendly Skeleton, Flickering Stars, Friendly Skeleton, who gave us... Speed
color, Friendly Skeleton. So we decided to see how closely the TMNT series compares to or doesn't to Tater
Tots Decks. Yeah, I don't know if they worked with them.
No idea.
Or it took inspiration or what, so I'm not sure. We will find out.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be it, y'all. I mean, if anyone has last minute questions, pop them in chat. If not, I will. No, you're good, Chad.
You're all good. We just didn't want to...
Had talked about it very recently, so we talked about a whole thing about
it. Give you the recap version. Talking about rapid reviews, are you making a return soon? Yes, we will. We will do one next week to cover July, which will obviously be a briff rapid reviews. We'll probably maybe cover it Gen Con as well, or something, or maybe June and July.
June and July, because June and July we didn't play that many games, so there's really no reason to do one for June because we played nothing in June.
Yeah, so we had some stuff to do to get ready for Gen Con, so it's been a while, and obviously we didn't have a studio for one of the months, but yes, they are absolutely making a comeback. We miss it because we love doing live stuff. On that note, we're going to be doing more live content, both playthrough stuff of some of those older games that like maybe aren't going to be sponsored by a publisher or something like that, or just favorites of ours that we don't have time to make a full edited video.
We've talked
or
this in the past. There is a is it worth it factor when we're doing game houses because they are so editing intense. And honestly, if it's a game that we really like but no one really cares about, it's not worth doing a game house for. It's just not, but it's totally worth doing a live stream, which is kind of like a low budget game house, to be completely honest, because it's not nearly as well edited and stuff like that. We'll be talking to chat, but it's a way to kind of show off those games without having to do an entire game house episode for it. Sometimes we'll do stuff fully edited ones that aren't paid for, but it just makes it a lot easier for us to also not only just have sponsored content on our channel.
Jono, if I'm saying your name correctly, apologies if not, it says, evening, guys. First time making it to a live. We're
Glad
so
you're here.
happy
I know, we're
you're
leaving,
here.
yeah, as you saw, but yeah.
Julie, did we see River of Gold? We actually have a copy of it over there because we're covering for Board Game Geek.
Yeah, we
and
covered
I've
it. Infocus is out, yeah.
been
So.
playing a game of it on, or just finished a game with it with Paula.
Oh, really?
On Board Gamer. It's really great.
Yeah,
I'd love to play
really
with
good.
you. Yeah, it's really.
I know
really
the
good.
rules because I had to make a video for it, but I have not played it yet. But we'll probably play that copy before you have to give it back to Lincoln.
Yeah, any expansion announcements that got your attention from Gen Con? Announcements?
What got announced at Gen Con?
Yeah, it's weird, like being on the inside, we don't really know about all the announcements. There's nothing that jumped out at me. We did pick up like fall flavors for Honey Buzz
really?
and stuff. So yeah,
I'm sure
nothing
there's
that
stuff out there,
jumped.
but-
I'm sure there's things out there. Oh yeah, like there's
Yeah.
a few things that happened before, like Gen Con. They announced an expansion for like the White Castle and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm
that's
here for that.
freaking here for
So, but yeah, now that the expansion, whatever the word I'm looking at, convention
Yeah.
itself.
All right, fam. Love you all to death. Thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. We will probably be back later this week. We're probably going to do, like we did last year, do kind of a retrospective from last year's Gen Cons.
Yep.
Basically say, like, Gen Con a year later, did the games hold up kind of thing.
Yep.
Because we enjoyed doing that last year. I think that's arguably a more useful video than this one is.
Well, yeah, because this one is still. I mean, we did play a decent amount of games.
Like, I
There's
have
a lot
no
of
idea
speculation.
what this game's like. You know, it's like, yeah.
Might
So
be great, might not, or might not, might be good for one play. And so we will do a thing where it's looking at everything that Nick picked up last year. What things have we kind of held on to and kept playing? Which ones haven't been played yet, if anything, and all that jazz.
Yeah, so
so
we're gonna do that later this week.
Take a look for that one and our sitting set later.
Yeah.
Later this week, hopefully.
all right, and that's gonna be it. Love you all to death. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.